As Mercedes said, my name is Mike, and I suppose that most people want to know a little bit about their instructor when in a setting like this. So I am actually here in Michigan, and I have been here in Michigan just about all my life. Lived in San Antonio, Texas for a couple of years, and I have taught in about 40 cities here now, I think in the last 20 years, but that's been a lot of travel. And maybe within the last 3 years, a lot of that has been done here, just like this on Zoom. And I really do like this format, this setup, that I can just sit here in my house, don't have to waste gas, go anywhere. So it's just wonderful. And I've taught a number of colleges. I retired from Schoolcraft, and I've taught at all the others, Marygrove and some others. And I just love to teach. You know, I've taught a lot of senior centers and libraries. I just get around. So that's a bit about me, and we'll get started. Hopefully you have the handout that was sent to you. And you can just nod some heads. I'm looking right at you. So if you do, you can say yes. If not, just say no. Okay, great. Looks like most of you do have your handout. Now, if you don't have your handout, it was sent to you. Again, it was sent to you in your email. And I would say don't worry about it at this point. You don't have to go back and try to get it. But you can after the session. That's your handout. You can, take it and freely review it. So those of us who have the handout, I'm going to ask you to go ahead and flip your cover. And there's a little, I don't know if you call this a legend or illustration here of one way of, say, creating a system with your pictures. And you'll notice that at the bottom is your main pictures folder, which we're talking about this. If you're looking at me now, this is the manila folder that you either label the tab or, label the larger area, and we might label that pictures. And we're all familiar with the manila folder and a file cabinet. I always say that the computer system is really not that much difference. And so on your handout here, the illustration shows the large picture here having the main folder being your pictures folder. And then just above that, let's say we want to get organized with our vacation pictures. And so you can see the next folder just above that, which would go inside of this folder here, would be labeled, your vacation pictures folder. And I have another folder here as well. Let's say this is the vacation pictures. It goes inside of the main folder. And then inside of this folder, I've created like two folders, which would be the summer pictures folder and the winter pictures folder. And then that's when you start placing your pictures inside of your folders. So I just wanted to give you one system, just an illustration here on one page, kind of showing how that works. And all of that can be done on a computer. I do want to say that it doesn't have to be, I think this term they use is etched in stone. You can create a system any way that you feel that will get you organized. My job tonight is to help us to learn how to get organized, how to create folders, how to put pictures in folders, and as well as some other things that we're going to discuss. All right, so that's how you do that. Now, the next page, I have how to look at things inside of a folder. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you now. And those of you who are not familiar with that term, I'm just, right now, you should see this word Zoom that I'm moving up and down. And what I mean by sharing my screen, you're actually looking at everything that I'm looking at on my computer. Everybody is seeing what I'm doing here. So this here, if you're not familiar with that, this is the desktop. And I'll quickly say this and then we'll move on. This large blue area here is your desktop right here. And it's a virtual desktop. very similar to, it's very similar to the desktop. No doubt you're sitting right now, where you're definitely sitting, because I'm looking at most of you. I don't know about those who are not on camera, but you're sitting down, and no doubt in front of you is some type of desk or table where you have your tablet or your desktop or your laptop. And on top of your desk, you have maybe pictures. You might have some pictures there. You might have some folders. There are things that are on top of your desk. Well, likewise, this here is this large blue area is the desktop. And then these are the items that I have. Some will call them icons, but these are the items that I have on my desktop. And as you can see, I do have, sorry about that. Give me a moment here. I need to fix something here, just a moment. Should take me about 20 seconds, not even that long. Okay, so on top of your desk, you can see, on top of my desk rather, you can see I have a couple folders here called computers, a national folder, and then a family reunion folder right here. And then I've got some documents here, like the national program. This is a Microsoft Word document. And so I have a number of folders here on my desktop. Now, the reason why I'm explaining this is because when you open a folder, it doesn't matter what folder that you open. Now, some will have a generic folder down here at the bottom, and you can see this folder here. And you can always open up that folder. But if you have any folder on the desktop, it doesn't matter. When you open a folder, which I'm going to do now, I'm going to open up this folder, maybe this one right here called MS Word file. So I'll double click on that. And I want to explain this before we get into our pictures because I feel it's necessary. Whenever you open up a folder, this will be the contents of that folder, always. And this will be the name of the folder right here, always. And so I created that folder, and as you can see, it's called MS Word Files, I call the folder. And this is the contents of the folder, this area here. You see four documents or files, some might call it. And then there's some other information of when they were placed in here, things like that. But that's going to be the contents of every folder. And that's going to always, always be different. But what does not change in every folder is this area here and this area here at the top. Because this, when you start clicking on things here, that's going to be the directory, and then you'll start seeing those things in this area here. So when I close out of this, this is the MS Word Files folder, which is right here. If I double click on, let's say, my Microsoft files here and open that one up, you can see that there is here a different contents, the things that's inside of the folder. Again, this is the contents of the folder, and this is the name of the folder there. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense to you. I needed to explain that before we actually get on to our pictures. Now, again, what does not change are the things in this list and the things above, because these are more of your settings and functions and things you can use the same. So notice that I have the words home, share, view, and then I've got words like copy, path, paste, and some others, new folder. And now when I close out of this folder and go back to the other folder, you can see I have those same words. Nothing will change ever in any folder that you create, as well as the things that are here in this list. All right, so with that said, you should always have a pictures folder. And you can see there, it's called pictures. It doesn't have a little folder image. It has a little picture there, but that is a folder. And anytime you open up any folder and you click on this pictures folder, which I'm doing now, this now goes from whatever the name of that folder you open to whatever you clicked on the left. So now this is called the pictures folder, and this is the contents, which is actually this, this here as well. You can always tell what you're in by looking down here. You can see that's highlighted in blue. So if I were to go here and click on, let's say, the documents folder, now all of these are my documents. So I'm going back. So this is how you can access your pictures folder at any time. And I would think a number of you do know that, but I just want to, to make certain. So when I click back on the pictures folder, you can see my pictures here within this area. Okay, give me a moment, please. Here are my pictures. And these are the pictures. In just a little bit, we're going to organize. We're going to show you how to put things in order. We're going to get you so organized. Now, I realize that probably a lot of you have a lot of pictures. I'm not as big on pictures, and I do have another computer with pictures on it, but you can see I'm just rolling up and down, and I probably, for this class, I didn't want to have, 200 pictures in here to try to organize, but we're going to organize the ones that's here. And when you see the system, whether you have like 50 pictures or so in here, like I have, or you have 5,000, it's going to be the same. Okay. All right. So the first entry there, how to look at things inside of a folder. So we have a folder open. And you'll notice up here at the top, I have 4 words. 4 words there. Give me a moment, please. Okay. 4 words. Home, a file home sharing view. And so you want to be in the View tab in order to do what I'm about to do. If you have Windows 11, now this is Windows 10, and I know both systems are out there, so I have to try to, I can only show one computer at a time here. But Windows 11 has the word View right about where you see this word Current View is on Windows 10. It's right about here, and you click it, and you get a list of these same things that I want to show you that are right here in Windows 10, right here. So once again, in Windows 11, you're going to have the word View right about there. And when you click it, you're going to get a list of things. I'm treating these little things as words, but you'll see like, like here, extra large icons and then small icons and so on. It'll just be a list of those same things, in one column. All right, so I'll try to note the difference between Windows 10 and Windows 11. But what's really neat is when you go here to click on these, let's see, 3, 6, 8, these 8 views here. When I click on them, notice what I get. I just clicked on what's called the Details view. And you'll notice that these no longer really, they're not pictures anymore, so you would think, but these are still the pictures. Whenever you see a little image like that, those are pictures. And so this is just one view that you can go here and get. And this is again called the Details view because it's giving you more details. And some of the details are, you can see like when you last modified your pictures. Now I do have a group of folders in here as well. We're going to ignore those for now. But all of these other ones, these little white and blue, those are all pictures. And you can see the dates that I brought them in or modified them. And I don't know if you're too much into the type, but it just tells you the type of pictures that they are. Some are called JPEG files, and then you got TIFF files and things. It just depends. I don't think that's as important with a lot of people. But if for some reason you wanted to know the size of the picture, it would be here or on this edge. So that's called the Details view. And then I'm going to click here on the Medium Icons view. Some people might prefer this view because you can see more. You can actually see the pictures now, but they're in a very small view, so that might not work for some. But you can see all of my pictures here at the same time. And this is it's a good view, but there's a little bit better view, I think, for organizing your pictures, and that's called here the Large Icons view right there. I sort of like that view, especially when I'm, again, trying to get organized. And so when we get organized, I think that's the view I'm going to use. I'm clicking on now the list view. And so they're in, now they're here is a list, putting them in alphabetical order, as you can see, by the folders first. You can see that's in alphabetical order. And then by the pictures. It's numerals first, or numbers first, and then words like A in architect, and C in Carmen, and E in empire, and so on. So now, if you ever wanted to find them in some kind of alphabetical order, find certain pictures, that's how that's going to be done. And there's a large view again. Then we've got the tiles view, and it looks a little different. And then you got a couple other views here. You got this view right here, small icons. And a lot of people like this last view called the large icon view, because you can really get in there and see them well. This, to me, is not the best view for trying to get organized, though. Okay. And you'll find out here in just a moment why. So I'm going to go ahead and just click on the large icons view. And I'm going to ask you to please give me a moment here. I'm just doing something a little bit technical. Okay. Okay. So on your handout, if you forget, I typed that up really nice. Those are my own words and everything. So you can get those different views. The next entry, to view files folders in a folder by name or date. Now that's the date modified. I just singled that one out because that's the details view right here. Is something you can get. Again, right here. I like to be in my documents a lot in my details view. In my pictures view, I kind of like this view right here. Okay, let's go ahead and show you the next heading, how to create and name a folder inside of a folder. All right, so we are in our main folder over here titled the Pictures folder. Now, you don't have to put all of your pictures in the Pictures folder, but Microsoft suggests this is a generic folder that they give you and suggests that you put them all in there, because once you do, they will all be, in here. And, if you got 5,000 of them, you might have a time trying to find the one you want, but at least they're not all over your computer. They're just in this one Pictures folder area. And I think that's a neat idea. But to start getting organized, the next entry is how to create a folder inside of this folder area here to start getting organized, the Pictures folder area. In other words, these are all right here subfolders right here that I've created so far inside of the Pictures, Pictures folder. And then you can see it up here as well, inside of the Pictures folder, inside of the Pictures folder. And then I've got my pictures, scattered throughout. So in order to create another folder, I said click on your Home tab, which is up here. And when you click on Home, what we're interested in is this right here called New Folder. Now, this is going to be the gateway here to getting organized, right here, the word New Folder. And in Windows 11, I'll have to note that as well, because it's not quite the same. In Windows 11, you have the word right here, New. It's going to be the word New. And when you click on that right here, you'll see the word Folder right there. And you click on that, and it'll do the same thing as I'm doing here. You'll see, it'll create you a new folder. It'll create you a folder inside of this folder, the Windows folder here. All right, let's get organized now. All of these pictures, what do we do to get them organized? Well, the first thing we need is this new folder. And when we click it, notice what it does. It puts us a folder down here in the lower right corner. And eventually it's going to bounce up here to these other folders. Don't worry about that at all. But we need to now, this is what it's going to look like. And what you do at this point, you don't have to put your mouse on the words New Folder. You don't have to try to bring it inside of that little box, rectangle. Whenever you see text in blue, all you do is start typing. And so I'm going to Mercedes, are you with us? Just curious.
Yes, I am.
Okay, I think someone's in the waiting room. I see. I don't
Ah,
know.
yes, here it is.
Okay. Yep, I just happened to glance over. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start typing, but we're going to do a project here. So if you got a little pen and pad, I need you to help me out with this one. And those, you don't necessarily need a pen and pad, and even those who are on mute, you might want to come off of mute. Let's just holler some things out. And if you're not quite familiar with it, that's okay too. But what I want you to do is to look at my pictures that I have here that I'm rolling up and down. And let's just say this is these are your pictures in your pictures folder. What folders do you think we might want to create? And maybe
Family.
okay, I heard someone say, I'm sorry, food.
Yep. Family.
Okay, yes, I would definitely say food. And who was that said family? Is that Marcia?
No, Vicky.
Oh, Vicky. Okay, Vicky, yes. Family. Anybody else?
Automobiles.
Cars or autos? Yep, let's say cars. Anything else? Do you see anything else that you might want to? Now, remember, this term etched in stone, it's not etched in stone. Because you might see a number of grandkids in here, and you might say, okay, let me do the great grand. So I'm gonna create a folder called great grands, or I might create a folder called red cars and put all your red cars in there. Or I just might create a folder called cars, and then inside of that folder, I might create a folder called red, blue, and green cars. So it's really left up to you at this point. When you're going through your pictures, your thousands of pictures or hundreds, this is what you're going to do. You're going to sit down with pen in hand, pen and paper, and go through and think about what folders you want to create. Does anybody see anything? Yes, yes. Who said that?
Me.
Okay, Marcia. All right, vacations. Now I see one more that I might do.
Computer
Again,
training.
computers. You know, I
Yeah.
don't think I saw a lot of I don't think I.
No, it's like, I don't know.
Yeah,
It's,
library or something.
yeah. That's,
Oh, you all saw that library. Somebody
yes.
else caught that too. I was really amazed. Like right here,
Yes.
this here could be the Okay, now, if you only see the one library picture, you might want to hold off on a folder. I mean, because they can be loose inside of this pictures folder. I do see this one here, and I think there is one other one. Let's see. If anybody sees it, let me know, because I did have two library kind of pictures in here, but I don't know what happened to the other one. Is that no? It was showing books. But anyway, yes, you can if you like, But since we only have one, I think we're going to leave that one off. But I do see two more that I don't think you all are catching that I would probably do.
Your profile pictures?
No, I think we're going to throw that in family.
It's like the image 0041. It's on the top there.
This one here.
That one and that one, and then the third one
And this
there.
one.
No, yeah, that one and the one next to it. Yes, that's three.
Okay, now that is that's my light. That's how you can see me a little bit lighter. I got a $30 little kind of light.
Oh.
That's neat. But you know, we could take that and maybe this and maybe that one, because that's a projector. And we could create a folder called computer stuff or something. But I'm just giving you all the options, a lot of options that we can do. We won't do that one, but let's just leave these off. But I'm looking at two more. Can anybody find two more?
Vacation? Food?
No. So did someone say
Bill-
vacation? No, we said vacation. Sorry about that. I meant one more, because I see
Did
one
you say buildings?
buildings.
Yeah, the buildings.
Yes. Buildings. Okay. So we have 5 folders, and I think that's going to do it. So here's what you do. Once you've decided on what folders you want to create, we can do this in any order. We can say create our buildings folder first and then drag our buildings into the folder. And or we can create, you know, buildings and food and family and create those and then drag things in. Or we could create all of our folders at once, or we could create one folder and drag it. So it doesn't matter in that order. I kind of got out of this folder, so I'm going to right click and go right here, left click on the word rename. And by the way, this is how you rename anything. In Windows 11, it's a little different. You right click on it at the bottom, it'll say show more options, and then you click and you'll see the word rename. Didn't want to do this quickly, but anyway, I didn't want to bring this up, but I got out of it somehow. So I'm going to left click on rename. And you can see when I do that,
Go look and see what
my-
time it says this program.
my folder actually opens up for me to edit it now again. So I'm going to name this one, and it doesn't matter what order. I'm just going to say cars like that. And what you do to get out of this edit mode, a couple things you could do. You could hit enter on the keyboard once. I like to just double click a couple times in a blank area somewhere, click once, twice, and you can see I'm out of that mode. And then I'll go back up here to new folder, right here, click it. And then I'll say vacation. And I just hit enter on that one. That kind of still in blue, but that's fine. It'll go away after a while, but the word vacation is there, so I'm good. I'll go back up here, click new folder, and I'll say, I think I'm doing family. Click a couple times in a blank area, go back up. Say buildings. Click in a blank area a couple of times, go back up. I think what's missing here? Food. Foods. And I think that's going to do it. Any questions on this? Any questions? And Deborah's shaking her head. No, I think she's got it. All right.
I see in the chat, how long can a label be? So can it just be as, you know, a long name folder, like if that's okay?
Oh, good question. Let's do one. I'm going to click here. And what we don't want to do, and I just did it. I'm going to click it again. What we don't want to do is hit enter at any time until we're finished. You know how you hit enter and you come down to the next line, like in a document or something? Well, you can't do that in a folder because when you hit enter, you've just kind of closed out, you know, it's no longer active. So what I mean by that is if I said, this is a folder for, and then right here, I might want to, you know, hit enter to come down to the next line. And it's a bit tempting because you might forget, but the moment I hit enter, see, it may come down to the next line because it's so long. In other words, it'll automatically come down by itself as you type, just let it do that. So if you have a lot of words, just keep typing. Let's say you got, you know, you don't want a lot of words, but let's say you have 7, 8 words like I have here. I've got 5, and you can see my 5th word automatically came down. But once again, the moment you hit enter, what's going to happen is you're going to close out of the folder, and then you got to go back here, right click, and go back, left click on rename, and it opens it up again. So what I would suggest is if it's a long label or title, just type and let it automatically come down to the next line. So I could say, I'm just throwing in characters for words here. See how I'm doing that? So as you type, you can really get along, but it's automatically returning by itself. And then once you're finished, just click a couple times in the blank here, and that's my label. So I'm going to get rid of that one. Just right click, left click on delete, and that's out of there. Hopefully that answered your question. And we'll move on. All right, so we have our folders created. You go into here with your 5,000 photos. You decide what you want to name them. You name your folders. And now we're ready to put our pictures inside of the folders. But before we do, a lot of times when you create pictures, they will come in like this with, well, these are I got from online, but some will come in like this. Image 1, image 2, numbers like IMG, like things like that. And for those who are not familiar with how to rename them, once again, I'm going to bring this one up. You hover your mouse over the picture, just or folder, it doesn't matter, whatever you want to rename. The next step is you right click with your mouse like that. And then if it's Windows 10, you go down to rename and left click it. You're only right clicking once to get the list, just one time. And you can see my picture is highlighted up here, and I left click at this point on rename. And then this comes back into the image mode where I can now name this my family, let's say. And then once again, in the blank area, you just click a couple times and that will deactivate. And you can see that I have the new name for the folder. All right, and so that's how that's done. Give me a moment, please. Now, in Windows 11, if you have Windows 11, it's a little bit different. You're going to right-click on the folder, and you'll get a list, and you got to go down to the bottom, which reads Show More Options. And you click on that, left-click on that, and then you'll see the word Rename at the bottom. You just got to go through an extra step, one extra step, and that's how you do that one. Okay, let's get organized. These folders at some point will jump up here at the top along with these other folders. That's not a problem. Don't worry about that part. You don't have to work that out. Usually when you close completely out of your pictures folder and go back in, these will be at the top. Doesn't matter where they are though. So it's very easy at this point to do. For instance, I have vegetables right here. And all I do is hold down on this and drag it right on top of my vegetables folder like that. Let go. Now the vegetables folder moved around. The foods folder moved around a little bit right here because I no longer have the vegetable picture there. All right, so now that picture is right here inside of my foods folder. Now, if you look up here at the top, you see these folders, manila folders or yellow folders, they have pictures inside of them. That's me out at, where was that? Brandenburg Park. I caught me a nice bass out there. But I can open it up to show you that one. But it just shows you little images just to let you know that something is in there. It might show you, it just shows you one picture, maybe two or something. And the same will happen here in a moment. It'll catch on and you'll see that here, even though I have something in the foods folder, it's not showing, and that's fine. It'll show eventually. Now, when I double click the foods folder here, notice here that here's my food photo or picture that I put inside. Can anybody tell me where I am? Where's this picture located based on what you're looking at on the screen? How can you always tell where you are? I said it, but I said it in passing, but I want to,
Look at the line that says PC, pictures and foods, just up above the picture.
Yes, great. And also, you'll also...
At the top bar.
Yes, you'll see the top here. Right there, you'll see foods.
Oh, okay.
But I don't know who said that, but you are absolutely correct. If you want to look at more of a detail, you want to look here at this bar right here. You'll have words going across as you open up subfolders, more subfolders. So right now, this picture is inside of the foods folder that I created, which is inside of the pictures folder, this foods folder, which is on the computer or on my PC. And if I were to create another subfolder inside, sorry about that, I got out of that somehow. Let me just go back. I'm clicking back here on pictures. This is how you can always get back to where you want to be. And then I'll go back. See how the foods folder jumped up here now, along with the family and the cars. All it takes is getting out of it and something. Okay, so I'm going to double click that. Well, let's do this. So I'm back here. You see here, whatever is to the far right, that's what you're immediately in. So I am inside of the pictures folder, and all of these things, all of these pictures are in there. So, but if I double click on, let's say, foods here, notice what happens. Now I have a picture that is inside of the foods folder, which is inside of the pictures folder, which is on the PC. After a while, it starts sounding like the 12 days of Christmas after you create so many folders, you know. All right, so that's how that's done. Now, how do you get back? Well, one of the ways is just go back down here and click on your pictures folder, and you're back into your pictures folder, you know, your main folder. All right, let's show you how to really get organized here. If you have 5,000 pictures, is there anyone with at least 1,000 pictures or 500 pictures in your pictures folder? Or you take, okay, Vicky, I saw you raise your hand. Some of you are really into pictures. And I know there's some who probably have, you know, probably actually have 5,000 or more pictures, who travel maybe and things like that. And I see Deborah did the same thing.
Yeah.
And so imagine this, Deborah, that you have foods. You have 150 pictures of foods. And so you have to go down here and find them and slowly bring them up. See, once you do like this, see what I'm doing? I'm clicking on this one and dragging it up there. As long as you hold down and start pushing it up, slowly up like this, it's going to go up there. See how it's doing that automatically? And then I just take this and throw it into my foods folder and let go. Okay, and so when I double click, open up the foods folder, there it is inside. But imagine you having 237 food pictures and you got to go down, way down, and you got to drag them up. You know, you would be weeks trying to get organized. I'm going to get us organized here in about 5 minutes in just a moment. And the secret to it is contiguous. That word contiguous, you know, most of us know it means together, like the contiguous states. You know, Michigan borders Ohio and so on, and contiguous. And so if you have pictures that are contiguous, here's what you can do. I am looking at, let's see, trying to find more than one, but I do see the building, two building pictures here together. Okay, so what I can do, I'm going to bring that up where you can see it. If I hover my mouse on it, you can see it turns like a light blue. That means I just, you know, have it hovered over there. If I click on it, I've just selected that picture. And if I move my mouse out of the way, you can see it's selected. But if I click in a blank area, see I'm doing this kind of in the blank down here, clicking, that'll deselect that. But what you want to do is move your mouse. See, I'm on, my picture is on the little girl just hovering. You don't want it there. You want it in between the two. See how right there, how nothing is selected? Even though this has a border around it because I had clicked on it earlier, that'll go away after a while. But see, I'm doing that. I'm putting it right there. Then what you do is hold the button down and drag like this. I'm holding my mouse button down and dragging. And the moment I hit the next picture like that, see what happened? And then I let go. And once I let go of the mouse, now you can see my hands. My hands are free. And when you look at those two pictures, they have been selected. So that is how you can first select pictures. Now let's say and I know these are not, but let's just say these here are contiguous. Well, I can go up here to the top like this, maybe hold down, and I can drag maybe diagonal like that. And I can select that group of pictures. You can see I've got about 12 selected or so. I'm clicking on the blank area to deselect them. Or I could start at the bottom. I could go straight up like that if I want and select pictures. I can go back over here like that. So it doesn't matter. I can go diagonal like that. As long as you have the pictures that you want in a folder grouped together, that's how you can do it. You can start anywhere, like here, as long as you're not right on a picture, because if you're on a picture and you hold down, you're going to drag the picture. But if you're between the pictures, like right about here, hold down and drag any direction, you're going to select pictures. Any questions on that part?
What if they're not
What?
side by side?
Okay, you read my mind, you've gone ahead of me, but that's great. I'll show you in just a moment how that's done. Any other questions? Or maybe somebody else had that same question?
Mike, is that similar to doing the control, holding down the control button?
It's a little bit different because when you hold down the control, you can randomly select pictures, and I'll show you how that's done in just a moment.
Okay. Okay.
But now, okay, so I see two pictures of me here together, right here. So I'm just gonna go on the side here, hold down, drag across, select the two like that. And then here's the secret. It doesn't matter which one you hold down and drag. So if you had 7 of them or 17 or 45 at once, just place your point over one of them that you've selected. In this case, I might do the second one. Hold the button down and start dragging. Does anybody see that, a number? Can you read that? Can you see
Yes.
it? Okay.
Yes.
So that means, of course, I'm dragging 2 pictures at a time. And then you just put them over family like this, let go. And those 2 pictures are now inside of the family folder. Piece of cake.
Wow.
WG, did you say something?
I just said, wow.
Yeah, isn't that wow? If you didn't know, yeah, it's a great wow. Because if I did this, I know these are not together, but if I did this, and I started hover over one and drag like this, you can see that number 24. Now
Yes.
I'm not gonna put it in a folder. I'm just gonna stay right here, just let go, and I'm good. And I'm just gonna click in the blank here to deselect those. So that's how you do contiguous. Any other questions on that part? All right, if not,
Can you move them around
uh,
while they're next to each other?
I don't think so. Let's give it a try. So I'm just gonna try drag this down here and let go. Nope, it's not gonna let me do it. Now you can't drag them. I wish you could. That would really be neat, because you can drag some of them that you see within this view, put them all in a group, and then select them. So that can't be done. So our other option is now not contiguous, but random. Random. And this one you need in your arsenal if you're not familiar with this one. Now, if they're not contiguous, like my car here, I've got one car here, and then I've got a car down here, and then I have one over here, and then I've got a couple down here. So let's show you how to do that. I'm just starting at the top. You don't necessarily have to start at the top. I could have started over here somewhere, so it doesn't matter. If you don't have this written down and don't know how to do it, I'd suggest you write this one down, because this is going to really get you organized quick. I'm trying to see if I have it in your handout. I don't. Let's see, give me a moment. No, I don't think I have it. Yes, I do. On page 4 at the top. So if you forget it, you got my instructions there on page 4. And there's little numbers, you can barely see them, but they're at the bottom. So at page 4 at the top, it says how to get organized by selecting multiple pictures inside of a folder. And these are random pictures, not contiguous. So you just click on the first one. That's step 1. You can see I just clicked on that one. And then before clicking on your second one, you want to hold down the control key on your keyboard. And if you're not familiar with the control key, if you look down on your keyboard, you see in the lower left corner, it reads CTRL. That's your control key, short for control. And so here it is, here again, you click on your first one. Don't do anything with the control until you click on your first one. And then after you've clicked on your first one, then hold your control key down. And keep your control key held down as you click on your other pictures. So right now I have my control key held down, and I'm just going over here to this one and clicking. I haven't let up off my control key yet. I'm going here and clicking. And if you want to scroll down, you don't want to keep the control key held down. So I'm letting off the control key now. You can see both my hands are off, but you can see all three of those pictures are selected in blue. I could hold down and drag one of the pictures, which will drag all three into the cars folder now. But if you wanted to continue on, what you would do, and you see again, none of my hands are on the keyboard or on the mouse. I'm going and using the mouse and just rolling like this, scrolling like that. And I see some other pictures I haven't clicked yet. I'm going to go back and hold my control key down, and then I'll continue to click like that. So if you want to try to do a lot at once, that's how it's done. Once you let up off that control key, let's say the 5 or 6 that you have selected, they're going to stay selected. And then you just roll down, find the others, but make sure you go back and hold that control key down again, and then continue to click on other pictures. So I think I have all of my cars selected. I'll just hover my mouse over one that's selected, hold down and start dragging. As you can see, the number 7, I'm just pushing this up. You can see as I'm pushing, it's going up, and just drop that right over the cars folder like that. And that is how you get organized. That's how you do it. Now, you might say, well, can you finish this up? Yes, I will finish this up to show you. So here we go. So I see a food item. I click on that one, hold down my control, click other food items. I'm just continuing to hold control. I'll let up off the control. I'm sorry?
Next to it, the
Oh.
pancakes.
Oh, now that pancakes. Where you at, pancakes? Oh yeah, thank you.
Yep.
Okay, and then now before dragging this, I'm letting off the control, and then I'll just hold down and drag. Throw that into where you at, foods. Where's the food? Okay, right there. Drag that in there. Okay, give me a moment to get organized. Now look here. See, these are for family right here. You know the dog has to be included as the family.
Absolutely.
Now you could create yourself at this point a separate folder called dogs if you wanted, but my dogs are part of the family. So I see that I have 6 here together. So I don't have to do any control thing. I'm just holding down and dragging and selecting those 6 like that.
You got another dog over there called Coffee, Honey Coffee.
Yeah, now I'm glad you brought that up, because you notice I cannot do that contiguous. Because if I did, I'd be selecting like that. I got all, the family and the dog, but I also have these, this one and this one. So that won't work there. So there are times when you just, you see a group, you just grab the group like that and then drag them over and then go get the dog later. So, like that. Or I could have just, at that point, held the control key down and then clicked on the dog. The 6 are already selected. I could have held control and clicked the dog. All right, and so I got 3 here, so I'm just dragging straight up there. And then I'll drag them in the family. And then I got a couple buildings here together, just drag those up, put them in buildings. And I'll just see this building by itself, just drag that in there. And I see a couple
You got
families.
another building in the left bottom corner.
Okay, let me throw that in there. Yeah, that building bounced around. Here it is.
Yeah,
So-
it did.
Yes, you're putting others in there, pictures of bounce around. Oh, I want to show this one so that you don't think that this is, from a distance, this is a bit X-rated right here. So I'm just going to double click so you can see this real good. This is going to go in family. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I just wanted you to see that one up close. So I'm going to drag that in the family there as well. And then I've got places. I got 3 places. I got all 4 of my places here together. So that's neat. I'll just drag like that, push them in places. I think vacation is what I want. Put that in vacation. And then I see a car here, random. And let's see. And then let's put me in the family, I guess. Well, I got a fishing
You
photo.
got fishing, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's not etched in stone. Any way you want it. At this point, if you see something, you say, well, I really don't want that one to go in the family. I want that to go. So you can go up here and click on new folder. It'll create you a new folder, name the folder, and then throw in what you want. I'm just going to go ahead and delete that. And boy, I'm getting organized quick, as you can see. So let's throw that in the family. We're going to do this, and then we're going to move on to something altogether different here in just a bit. We have until 6:30 here, so I mean, 7:30. I'm sorry. Yeah, hour and a half.
What
Okay.
time did you start, Mike?
We started at 6. I think this
Okay.
is from 6 to 7:30 if you can stay.
Okay, I was mistaken, and that's why I came in late. I thought it started at 6:30, so I was
Oh,
surprised that you were already going on when
yeah.
I joined.
Yeah, we were going strong at that point.
Yeah,
I understand though. Okay, I've got a dog, my dog Honey. I'm gonna throw her in the family. And here's vacations. Let's put that over there. Now, there are going to be times, let's see, building here, looks like. There will be times, no doubt, when you will go into your pictures folder and you'll have some things that are just kind of don't seem to fit in a folder. Well, remember, they're still in your pictures folder, and that's okay. You might want them just to be randomly in there. For instance, this fan right here, I'm just going to double click to bring it up. That doesn't go with anything that I can see, not with cars or buildings. So I might just keep that separate out just inside of the pictures folder and in no other folder. A lot of times what I'll do is I'll create, and you can see it here, I'll create a miscellaneous folder. And then I'll throw, I might put the, the fan in the miscellaneous folder. So, and this jewel of a girl here goes in the family. And I am pretty much organized. Someone mentioned technology or something. Let me go ahead. I'm just going to create a new folder and just call it, let's say, computer stuff. I love the word stuff a lot. And then I see this projector. I'm just going to throw it in there. And I see these 2 things here. These 3 things here, more computer related. I'll throw them in there. And I am organized. That's what I wanted to do. I was able to do that. And so you saw the system of how to do that. Are there any other questions on getting organized? Any other questions? I think you can do this. Okay. All right. So I'm going to double click on the family folder. And there you can see all of the pictures that I have included here in the family. And while we're here, I want to show you some editing things that you can do with pictures. So I'm gonna double click on, you get a chance to see my family. The dog is not included, but this is me and my group, my wife and my 2 kids. Whenever you double click on a picture, it's going to bring it into an app or software program, if you will. It'll bring it in there, and there are things that you can do at this point. These small dots up here, I can click, And I have some options here. As you can see, there's some, I can share it, I can copy it, make a copy of it. So just a number of things here I can do. And give me a moment. One moment here. Okay, I'm going to get out of this quick. But let's say I want to, this right here is, I'm clicking on this little symbol. And when you do that, that will bring you into this area where there are some things that you can do. And one of those is to this little feature right here. I'm going to click it. And now this is what you can do with any picture. Like you might have some old pictures from the 80s or the 70s, let's say, and you really like them and they're in a shoebox or someplace. You can scan them into your computer. And let's say a number of them are just dark. The flash didn't work or something. And you think, well, there's really no, hopefully you didn't throw them away, because you can bring it into, you can scan it into your computer and bring it into a program like this, and you can do things with it. If it's dark, so let's say it came in like that. Let's say that's the way it actually looks when you scan it in. That's the way it looks physically. Well, you can go here and change the brightness on the picture and take a picture that was done in, let's say, the 70s that you thought that there was no hope for, scan it in and just go in and just drag these meters, and you got yourself a revived picture. You can see what that did to this picture. So there's things like brightness and exposure. You can see what that's doing. Contrast. If let's say it's gray like that. Let's say it comes in, it was taken grayish like that. You can come in, bring it in, scan it, and then change the contrast on the picture like I'm doing here. You can see it's getting nice and sharp. You can work with highlights and shadows, as you can see. I hope that this is projecting over to you. I just thought about it. Zoom might not be allowing that to happen. Is that?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's showing. Yep.
Okay, thank you. So maybe you scan a picture in that is too shadowy, and you can go in and just slide this. You see how that's coming, how that's working really nice. So just a number of things here that you can do. You can work with color and tints and things like that. If it's a bit off, if you want to change it to black and white like I'm doing here, these are just, see what it's doing. Even if the picture had overexposure in color or something, you can come in and make these adjustments, which is really neat. So that's one thing you can do. Your save options up here at the top, there's a little arrow here you can click. And instead of saving your original, you might want to save a copy. And that way you will have your original that you scanned in, as well as the copy the updated copy that you made. So those are some neat options that you have. Also, you might go, I'm going to click cancel on that. And I think I'm just going to leave it right here, because this feature here is a neat feature for cropping. So if I click on that one, you can see the look it gives me. And let's say you had an old boyfriend that was hanging on a picture. You really liked the picture, but you didn't like him after a while. So you can go in here and crop him out. Or if there's an old girlfriend or whoever, someone that's in the picture that is really, you want him out of there.
Are you cooking?
So, I'm sorry. Oh, okay. So I can take this and drag this over like that. And then maybe down here, and I'm just grabbing on the little white areas, either in a corner like this. I can do it diagonal like that, or just, drag up or down any of the handles. And I'm just going to push that up a little bit like that. And then I'm going to click here, save options. And I'm going to save a copy of it. And it takes me here to my pictures folder. And I'm going to click on save. And you can see now what the picture actually looks like. So these are just some amazing things that you can do. And you can see here, although it's not in the pictures folder, I still have the family in the pictures folder. And I can just drag this inside of the pictures folder. You can see here is the picture that's there.
Where is the pictures folder?
This is it
Oh.
here. Yeah, I had to for some reason click pictures again to get my folders and everything. I'm not quite sure
Okay.
why I did that. Yeah. And there she is. And I just hold down and drag her right into the family folder. Now it's saying here, if you ever get this, and this is pretty important stuff here too, because if you have copies of something, which, you know, a lot of people do, they don't know, maybe how to get rid of copies, or should they get rid of copies. Now, what I just did is I dragged her picture to the family folder here, and I got this prompt here. And it's telling me the one that's selected, usually by default, is if I click on this, it's going to replace the one that's already there named My Family. And I do not want to do that because my daughter will be the only one that will be there and the other one will be out of there. So I'm just going to click the X on this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and just right click and rename. And I'm just going to type in her name here. And now I should be good. Go and drag it. See, it didn't like, because it's got the other one in there with the same name. And that is how you do that. Okay, moving right along. If there are no other questions on getting organized.
I have one question. I'm sorry, I was distracted.
Uh-huh.
And that was, because it's taken me all this time to get on. When you did the picture with the one isolated out of the group, you made a copy first or not?
You mean of my daughter?
Yes.
When you're saying when we were in the software program, like here?
Yes.
Okay, so yes. So this picture here, one moment. Okay, so what you want to do is, you know, go here to make your changes, whether you're doing, you know, or if you wanted to make changes to colors or cropping or whatever. Let's say I just want to bring this down here a little bit like that, and then maybe bring this over a tad like this, slimmer out a little bit. And then, yes, you go up to save options, and you might want to save a copy in this case. Unless you're awfully sure that that's what you want, you can just click save and it's going to replace the old one with this new one. But if for some reason you want a copy, you want the old one, which, you know, looked like something like, I think like this. If you want both the old one and the new one that looks more like this, you would say you want to save a copy. So you want the old one, including the new one.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. Okay, let's move on.
Could you show us one more time how you got to that editing function? We missed that.
Oh, yes. It's very easy to do. Any picture that you double click on will show you that it will take it into that software program. For instance, I'm double clicking here on my little niece. I'm just proud of my little family here, my little cutie here. So when you double click, it's just going to open it up in that program. Now, once once you're here though, if you want to do that, you know, some amazing stuff, it's this feature right here, the first one. Clicking on that will then take you into this area here where now you can use, you know, this right here is cropping. So that's why these little things are around. That'll crop it like that, you know. And this one right here will give you your colors. So it's these first two is really the ones I'm working with. And if for some reason you do all this work and say, you know, I really don't like that, you can go over here and click reset. or maybe it's a step that you did. So right here, let's say I go here and I do that, and I say, you know, I don't want that. This is undo right here, so it'll undo that one step that you just did.
Mhm.
But if you do 100 things in here, like you go in and you change the exposure, and then you go and you do this, and you change the shadows, and then you say, you know, I really don't like that. Well, you could just do a total reset and it'll take it back. It says this will remove all editing changes, and you just say reset, and you're back to you first brought it into the program.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, everybody good with that? Okay, if there are no other questions, I'm going to get out of this. Yes, Nancy?
Yes, I had one more question. On my phone, I can get rid of the background like instantly. I think they call it sticker. Is there such a thing?
No, it's not in this program. You could bring this into a program called Canva. It's a free program. It's an amazing program. I'd love to teach it one day, but it's amazing. You could do flyers, and there's all kinds of good stuff in Canva. Now, you can in one click, 99% of the time, take away all of the background. So the child here, if I clicked on that one button in about 30 seconds, this whole bed would be gone, everything. All you would see is the child, just the outline and her. So it's just an amazing program, and I think you have something similar to that. But no, this program doesn't do that.
And that's spelled Canva?
Yes.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. And I think you can go to canva.com. I think that's where it's at. And they have a free one. I pay for the one, I think I pay, I don't know, maybe $10 a month or something. But it's so exhaustive. I mean, it has so many pictures and all kinds of, all kinds of social media flyers and presentations, and all of it's free, and it's just an amazing program. Okay. All right, so I'm going to get out of this now. And I'm going to now go, let's get out of this. We've done all that for pictures. I'm going to go to my email, because this is pretty important stuff for those who are not familiar with this. So I am in my email, and hopefully I can find a picture in here. Let's see, what kind of attachment? What is this here? I haven't seen that ever. Okay, well, let's do this. I don't think I'm going to find a picture in my email, so I'm going to use a document instead. What is this? This might be a picture. Yeah, let's take that. Okay, so with most systems, like I think Gmail and Yahoo, if you have a Yahoo email account or ATT account, when you receive an email, and normally at the bottom will be an image of the picture, and we want to know, if you're not familiar with, how to download that picture. Now, that term, or word download, means that you're bringing a copy of that picture, because it's not on your computer when you open this up. In other words, this logo right here is not on my computer. It's housed with AT&T. But I want to download it to my computer. That's what the term download means. You're bringing a copy of something to your computer. And so a lot of those providers have, where this little plus sign is here, there'll be words here. And if you click on the words, it'll start the download process. So it might be words down here that might say community ed or something. But this particular logo, it doesn't have words. You either have words there, or you have, when you hover your mouse over it, you should see this little symbol, right there. That's the download symbol. So either words at the bottom of the document or a picture, or you have this. I'm going to go ahead and click on this. And what this is going to do it's going to start downloading it to my computer so I can use it on my computer. Now, some might have, this is pretty common now. Mine just took me directly, when I clicked here, to routing my way over here, you know, to where I wanted to go and saving it here. But some systems, your system might have an open or save up here in that area where I'm putting that triangle. And some might have it down here after you download it. It might, you know, it'll have the name of the logo or the, you know, whatever. And then what you do is you click on it. And again, if it's up here, you click on it, it might read save or open or something like that, and then it will download it to your computer. They're all just a little bit different. Now, mine, again, when I click it, I don't get, it doesn't go down in the lower left or upper right. It just takes me here. And this is the picture or the document or the logo or whatever. And it's ready now for me to route my way to where I want to save it on my computer. Now, this box will not even come up. It will automatically, and this is very important because people don't know where it's at. Normally it will automatically download it to here, what's called your downloads folder. And rarely will it put it in your documents folder, but it's usually your downloads folder. So if you lost something that you downloaded, you say, I don't know where it's at. The first place you want to go is your downloads folder. But if you get this prompt like this, see, I like this prompt. I set it up this way where it's like, okay, where do you want to put it? It doesn't automatically take it to any folders. I tell it here where I want it to go. And I think I'm going to put it right here. Now, see, if it's a picture, you might click right here on picture and then go over here and click save, and it will save there. But I don't want to go around in circles here or appear fickle, but once again, if you've downloaded something and you can't find it, the first place you want to look is your downloads folder. And if you don't see downloads, a lot of times this might be collapsed. See this, right? This little arrow. When I click on that, see what it did? It's still here, right there, but you don't see the sub things below. So if you ever go here and you don't see your picture folder or your documents or your downloads folder, you want to click this little arrow here, and that will expand. See, this is where we were right here, and you can see it expanded to show me 3D objects, documents, you know, downloads, music, pictures, and so it's got a lot of things. And then libraries. This libraries is not a part of that. That was showing, but you can see here is now is my downloads folder. So what I'm going to do though is I'm going to click pictures right here, because this is where I want this logo to go right here, and then I'll go over here and click save. And when I do, you can see up here at the top, it's telling me that it is done. It's downloaded to that folder. And I could go here and click on folder and go to the pictures folder immediately. I could click on these words right here, and it'll actually show me the picture in that software program that I showed you. I'm just going to bypass all that. I'm just going to go maybe, you know, open up a folder, double click it, go back down here to pictures here. And when I do, oh, that's my OneDrive. I didn't mean to do OneDrive pictures. This picture's here. This is on my computer. And as you can see here, there is the logo that is now on my computer. And of course, the original is still in the email itself. I just, you know, that just brings a copy to my computer when I go through that process. So if I double click the logo, you can see now there is my logo. And if I need to make some changes to it, I can click. Let's say the logo came in, and sometimes your pictures will do this. It came in sideways. Well, you have, let me cancel this. And right here, you see that little circular arrow. Now, what that does is rotate. So when I click on that, every time I click it, let's say it came in this way because you took pictures of it or something on your camera, and sometimes that happens. Well, this is how you can go in and turn that around. See, every time I click it, now it's upside down. We definitely don't want it that way. But as you keep clicking, now it's, right side up. So these are just some options that you have in that program. All right, so that is how you get a picture from your email onto your computer. Let's say that you have the OneDrive. Now we're going to talk a little bit about the cloud service. And if you're not familiar with the word cloud is, or what cloud, the term cloud, excuse me. Cloud service is a service where you send your pictures to be housed at some company. For instance, Microsoft, their cloud service is called the OneDrive. And then you have Google service. Theirs is called the Google Drive. And then you have the iCloud. That's another service. So there's a number of them, cloud services. They have their advantages and disadvantages. The advantage of a cloud service is if I have all my work on this laptop and the laptop hard drive goes out, it's kind of rare, but it can happen. I've actually had one go out on me some years ago. Well, once you've done that, and if you haven't backed up your work, well, all of your work now is gone. It's lost. And well, you can maybe send it to a recovery service. They might be able to get your precious work off of there. But you want to have some type of backup system whenever you're working, I would say when you're working with your precious pictures and documents as well. And so we'll talk a little bit about that. And the cloud service is a backup service. So if I were to take this logo here, or even my precious family pictures, and send a copy of it to the cloud, well, now that's being housed with Microsoft or housed with, Google or someplace. And if this computer were to fall on the floor, well, I can just buy another computer, sign into my iCloud or my OneDrive or my Google Drive or whatever cloud service you're with, and I can access those same pictures from the cloud and bring them back to my computer or some other computer. Or I can go to my nephew's house in Texas and hop on his computer and sign into the cloud and show him the pictures that are there. They would be just pretty much like you see the pictures here. So that's the advantage of a cloud service. The disadvantage to me is in the future, the privacy of it, maybe, the security of it, So I don't speak much about that end of it, but I would say this: the horse is out of the gate. The cloud service is here. It's not going away. So you do have the options. There are ways of backing up your work. One is the cloud service. You can put it on your computer. You can use a flash drive. You can also use something called an external drive, which I have one here. If you're looking at me, this is an external drive about the size of, not quite as large as a cell phone, not as long as one, a little bit flatter than a cell phone. And you can I plug this into the side of my laptop and I can back my work onto that. Now you might say, well, how do you back up that work? And a flash drive costs you can get one for about $75 or so. And I'm going to show you here real quick what it looks like if you attach it to your laptop or desktop. And so this is what they look like. They have a little cord on them, as you can see, and that's where you plug it in. And actually you can see here, this one here, you can see how that's plugged in there. And whether you use a flash drive or external drive, they both work the same. It's just, to me, this one is more reliable. and definitely has more storage. So if you have thousands of pictures, and you want to keep them safe and near you, a backup copy, this might be the way you want to go. Just buy you one of those external drives, plug it in, and get you one with terabytes. Nowadays I don't think they have large number of gigabytes. Probably everything on external drive is terabytes. And the more storage space you get, the more pictures you can put on there. And you, no doubt, I can't say this with all accuracy, but if you get something with a couple terabytes, you can put thousands and thousands of pictures on there, I believe. Okay, and so that might be the route to go for some. Okay, let me go back here.
I have a question about that.
Yes.
I have been out of the country, and I don't take my external hard drive with me. What would be your recommendation? I always think about if my house burned down while I was gone, that would be destroyed also. So is there any recommendation? I have thought about a bank safety deposit box, but just wondered your opinion.
Okay, so you forget to take your external drive and
No, I just don't take it if I don't think I'm going out of the country again, but
Okay.
it's an example of what I've dealt with before. So I just was
Yes. Yes, well, I would suggest the cloud service, because once you put something on the cloud, it's called uploading it to the cloud. You can then go sign into your cloud service and then put those pictures, if need be, if something happens to your computer, you can put them back on your computer as well. So it's kind of reversible. And as far as a cloud service, this is Microsoft's cloud service right there called OneDrive. And it's as easy as doing this. If I were to take this picture here, let's take this one right here, and I hold down and drag this, I can put it right over that. Let me try to make this a little bit larger. I grab it like this and drag it right on top of see how that's in blue in OneDrive, and just put it there and let go. Now, what I did is I just moved it there. Now that you got to be careful of the difference between moving it and making a copy. So you can see it's no longer there, but it is now housed with my OneDrive service right here. And if I click on that, these are the things that are on my OneDrive. They're not on my computer. See, that's in blue there with my OneDrive service. So now if something happens to these pictures, now not the other ones that's down here in my pictures folder down here, but if anything happened to these that I have rectangled there, the rectangle around, if something happened to them physically, my computer hard drive goes out, it falls on the floor, I can access those pictures from another computer. And then eventually put them back on my computers if I like a copy of them. I can go to OneDrive and open up that account, and you see the pictures just like you see them here pretty much. And then I can take the picture and download it to my computer again. Or rather, I'm sorry, download it to my computer, yes.
So are you saying take everything that's on my external drive and upload it to the cloud?
Well,
so that if I leave and the house catches on fire?
No, that's an option you have. I'm just giving you certain options, whatever ones you think are best. I'm just saying that the cloud service has its advantages, because if something were to happen, you're at some place and let's just say let's say you have your external drive plugged into your laptop. And you have this large dog, and he goes to jump over your table, and and the laptop falls on the floor, as well as the external drive, and everything is just, shot. Well, if you had them on the cloud, no problem, because you can go access those pictures from the cloud and bring them back, on a new computer. And that's the point I'm making. There are some advantages to the cloud. Now, if those pictures are really precious to you and you don't want them on the cloud, I would suggest saving them to your external drive and then taking that external drive separate from where your computer is. In other words, a relative's house or something like that, you know, if they're really precious. You know, and every so often you can bring it back, you know, put more copies on there and take it somewhere else, or maybe to your PO, no, not to PO box, that wouldn't work. But I don't know, do they have security boxes or something like that?
Mike, they got fire boxes too that you can buy at Walmart.
Yes,
They're good
yes.
size. If it's
That's a good
hard,
idea.
you know, yeah.
Yes, if that's your only concern is maybe something, you know, storm come by or fire or something, yeah, you might want to get a fire box. It's real cheap and put it in there. And they even have some with locks, and they're not that big. They're easy to
Yeah.
pick up and handle. So those are just some of the options, you know, that I'm giving you. Okay.
Mike,
Yes.
I have,
Uh-huh.
I have a question.
Yes.
Back at the photos albums, the photos folders, I have a folder that is gravestones, cemetery stones.
Yes.
Is there a way to alphabetize the items that are in that folder? You know, because each one of them has a name, you know,
Yes. Okay.
Susie Q, John Doe, Billy
Yeah.
Bob, you know,
Okay.
is there a way?
Okay, I'll show you that. And that'll be, we'll kind of wind it up with that one. But let me show this as something I forgot to do. So I have my external drive in. Let's show you how easy it is to make a backup copy of it. See what I'm doing? You could do this with a picture. I'm just hovering over this one. If you right click and if you go down to send to, and I think this might be in your steps. And down here at the bottom, which is, it's normally at the bottom, sorry about that. When you go to send to, normally when you plug in a flash drive or external drive, it'll be down here at the bottom, and you simply left click on that and give it a moment and it'll make a copy. In this case, it'll make a copy on the flash drive or the external drive. And the same with folders. If I right click on this folder here and go down to send to, and over to the flash drive or the external drive and left click on it, you might have to give it a moment if there's a lot of pictures in the folder, but a meter should go across. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Just give it a moment and that entire folder will now be on that external drive or that flash drive. So those are just neat options that you have. In answer to your question, I'm going to go to my document folder here and notice in this view, in my details view,
Okay,
what I have in here, see there, they're all in alphabetical order.
okay,
So yeah, that's what you want to do. Click on details, or if that for whatever reason doesn't work, one of these views, like your list view here, should do it. And you can see that all of these are in alphabetical order. And if you have folders in there, they're going to put them in alphabetical order by folders first, and then by files and documents and things. Okay, I'm going to ask you if you got 2 minutes, because there's one last thing I want to do. Okay, stay with me if you can. I want to show you how to transfer your pictures from your phone. In this case, I've got an iPhone, and Android is similar. Just a quick way of doing this by cable. Okay, because so this is my cable here, you know, this end you plug in your charger, and this is the end that has the part that you plug into the wall. But a lot of times that's detachable. And when it detaches, this is what you'll see. And this right here plugs into the side of your laptop, or maybe in the front of your desktop.
Excuse me,
Desktop. Yes.
my screen still has your computer screen up. I'm not seeing you.
Oh, let me just see some. Can you all see my desktop now?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what you want to do is get past your,
Sorry, but I'm not seeing you. I'm seeing your desktop.
but not,
Yeah, that's fine. Yep.
Okay,
As long as you,
okay.
as long as you see my desktop, that's fine.
all right, I'm good.
Okay, yes. Now, there's a couple things that might happen when you plug this in. I think you see me as well. You might get a screen that pops up. Now, mine didn't come up, so I'm going to show you how to get it. So I'm going down here clicking, and you want to go here to Photos. If that photo screen does not pop up, I'm going to Photos here. I'm clicking right here. It will bring this area up here. Now, normally that should automatically come up. But notice, I know you can't read this, but you can probably see the little prompt that I have. And see, this is the problem. You will probably get an error right in this area that says something like retry. Now, I didn't get it, but normally that's what happens, retry. And the reason why it wants you to retry, because on my phone right here, it reads, allow this device to access your photos, on your phone. And it says, don't allow or allow. So you have to allow it, in which I'm doing now, tapping allow on my phone. And if you get this retry right here, that's when you click it again and it will work. But again, I didn't get it this time. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But the thing of it is, you should see your phone over here. See, that's my Apple iPhone. See, these photos are in my photo app here. So these are not, I'm not, what do they call that word? I'm not stuck on myself here, everybody, with all these pictures of me. I had to do a professional photo shot. I don't know anything about it. So what I did was I took a lot of pictures of myself here, as you can see, and I went into Canva. And this is one of the pictures right here. It looks like I'm outside right there, but I'm not. I was in my basement right here, and I just just in a matter of a couple clicks, I put a background there, and I did the same here. I'm in my basement right here. It's amazing what you can do. But anyway, I'm going over to Apple iPhone, and we're in this in about a minute. Clicking here. You got to click on your phone. Now, these are the pictures that are on my phone. And what I can do, I have 20 here. If you want to select all, you just check that, and you can see all of these now. They have little check marks. Well, I don't know why I didn't do all 20. Let's see. I don't know why. Okay, it's doing most of them. I don't know why I didn't do these two. But anyway, I won't worry about that
Because
right
you
now.
have 31.
Oh, yes, thank you. Select
You're
all.
welcome.
There we go. Very observant person. So let's select all 31. And if I wanted to bring them all, I would click this little blue thing here, but I don't want them all. So I'm going to deselect this. And I'm just going to randomly go down. And this is what you can do. Say, I want that one, just clicking on the picture will do it. I want that one. I want that one. So I just chose 3. And you can see one of them is this little box right here, just so we know. And then I click this little blue thing here. And I have 2 pictures folders. Now, the first one, if I click on, you can see that's my OneDrive. I don't want the OneDrive, okay? I want to click on the one that's on my computer. And I just clicked on that. And all you have to do here is click import. And when you do, it'll start down here. I don't know if you saw it, but that was real quick. It says that all 3 items were successfully imported from Apple's phone. And now when I go into, finally ending this, when I go into any folder, I go over here to my pictures folder, click.
You're in OneDrive.
Oh, sorry, thank you. I don't like doing that with OneDrive. So this pictures, and when I do that, here they should be. Yep, there's the one I showed you with that. I thought it was a box. I think that's a screen or something, but that's one of them. And I think one of these, I forget which ones, but they're all here. So that's how it's done, everybody. And with that, I thank you all for taking the time to take my class. And I hope that you gain some things from it. As you can see, there's a lot to it, but hopefully giving you enough to really go in and mainly get your folders organized. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Mercedes. I'm 6 minutes over. I apologize for that one.
Thank you.
It's great.
Okay, thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, and I'd like to put your number on speed dial.
I want him to come to my house.
Well,
Was
you
this
know,
recorded?
the library doesn't allow that type of thing unless, you know, they usually let us put business cards in the back. But if there's a request, you know, I do one-on-one, but that's a whole nother story. I don't know what the library allows, but go right ahead. I'm putting Mercedes on the spot.
Was this session recorded, Mike?
I
Yeah,
think
so I
it's-
am
go ahead,
recording
Lisa, go
this
ahead.
and it'll be available to everybody who was in the Zoom. So you'll get an email and I'll send a link and all that as well.
Okay, great.
Fantastic.
Thank you.
I
Yes,
can pick up what I missed at the beginning.
Yeah,
Yes.
there you go. Well, thank
Okay.
you very much. Very,
If
very much.
anyone else has any
You're welcome.
questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I hope you all have a great night and we hope to see you guys at the book sale this weekend.
I did have one question because you had in your printout, you talked about using OneDrive. So I tried going into that initially, but
Yes.
it said I had another cloud feature running, so I couldn't use OneDrive. And the only thing I can figure is because I have an iPhone and perhaps it was picking up the iCloud. I don't know.
Yeah, that's sort of what I'm thinking. Maybe you have iCloud. You might have to go in and close, sign out of your iCloud account.
Yeah, it said for me to stop the other cloud service running and then I could go to OneDrive, but I didn't know how to stop it. So
Yeah.
that would be the only question I would have.
Yeah, you could probably go to iCloud.com and it will I'm thinking that it has you signed in and you just have to go, most of those systems, you go up in the upper right and click on
Sign out.
sign out. Yes.
Okay, does it matter if I save it to iCloud or if I save it to OneDrive?
No, they're both cloud services. So
Okay.
whatever your
Okay.
preference is, yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Good
Okay, you-
Come
instruction.
back.
Yeah.
Come back soon. Maybe you show us how to do the iPhone stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
Thank you.
people always ask me a lot of times, they ask me at the end of the class, boy, are you coming back or can we do a part two? And I always say, go ask the administrators.
Yeah.
All right, you heard
Yeah.
that now.
I
Yeah,
did.
Do that. Okay.
Yes. Thank you, everybody.
All right.
Thank you for
Thank
having me,
you.
Mercedes. I enjoyed it.
Good night,
Yes.
folks.
Thank you, Mike.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Have a great night.
You
Bye.
do.